We took a trip to Nappanee, Indiana to see where our motorhome was born.
Yeah, so we got to go through the whole process of how they make these things, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they don't make the frames. Those come in sealed and nice and ready. But then from there on out, we got to see the whole process.
So this is that process.
Let's go. First of all, look at the service center. It is stunning.
Yeah, so if we're going to have to hang out there for a week, at least it's a comfortable place to be.
Yes, absolutely. I did a lot of work in here.
What we don't advertise, but I know it happens because it's
Sam's pumped. She's ready to go.
I was ready to go. I don't know. I think it was the best.
Some of the office buildings, most of the offices are upstairs, and I'm not sure who's down in this floor, but they walk you right through them.
Look at that landscaping.
Best part about the service center is that campground that is right across the street.
One of my favorite parts of this tour, you get to get on a little shuttle bus. And here's where the welding's happening.
Yeah, so they're building the base that they built the whole RVs from off of the frames that come in. Whether they're a Spartan, a Ford, a Freightliner, they'll go through this exact same line. Well, there's just a lot to see here, which is nice because you actually see them like building and the whole base of the RV. So like I mentioned, they built all the chassis through the same lines, so not only the Class A's but the Super C's. One of the coolest parts about these when they were building them too is as they put the plumbing in they'll put the tanks in first, and that's one of the things they're doing there is putting all of the tanks in. They fill them up with water, so from this time that they're there's not much to these to the time that they're finished, they have water in them, so they're testing for leaks. Another cool thing is you see those little pads under the tires. They fill those with air and then they just push these to the side, which you're going to see here in a second.
I thought they were just using sheer masculinity.
Yeah, these guys are really strong. They just kind of move them to the side. So here is one of those really strong guys. They just move them from one bay to the next. They just push them around the floor. I don't know if you've ever used a pallet jack, but I wonder if they get stuck on wire ties. Luckily they stop, apparently. They don't just push them into the next bay.
That bell is break time. It's impressive they get all of these in here. They have over 1 million, 1 million square feet under roof that they have to work.
So as they build them obviously from the bottom up. Here they're getting the plumbing in, and then they actually build the flooring completely separate. So it's on its own base, and they do all the tile work. And then they pick up that entire floor and glue it to the other flooring that they have in, the subfloor that they have.
So they pick it up and they move it over to the chassis.
Yeah. So they just have these like big vacuum things that like suction this floor and move it over onto the chassis that we just saw a little bit ago. But I thought that was interesting that they built the and tiled all the floors kind of separately and then add them on. One of the neat things about Newmar is if you're getting it built, you can pick the flooring from any coach too. So if you wanted to add, a flooring that's supposedly only offered in, say, like I don't know what, a London Air, but put it in your Mountain Air, you can do that, which is pretty cool. It's adult Build-A-Bear.
Can't say Build-A-Bear, that's trademark.
Oh, okay. Well, it's adult Build a Llama.
No. No. Just no. Cut off a lot of the floor.
Yeah, so they know ahead of time how much flooring they're going to need, obviously, for each coach, so they just stack them up. They're ready to go so they can lay them in.
And what are those?
So this is the subfloor that they're building. So they build it upside down, then they flip that over onto the chassis. So we're kind of out of order from how it's built to what we're seeing, but that's the way the tour went. This is them. They're sealing the chassis. So what they do is they lift it up and they spray it with a sealant to seal every part of it. So when they build on top of it, you don't have to worry about rust and that type of thing.
I thought they were playing airplane.
Yeah, so they make them fly. They also make truck planes, apparently.
I don't know how people don't get lost in here. There's so much happening in one space.
Yeah, we didn't get lost because we had to follow the yellow brick road. That's probably copyright too.
Yeah, we didn't get lost because there were 2 lines that we had to stay in between the whole time.
Yeah, we had to stay in the lines.
Because you don't want to get in anyone's way or possibly get hurt or, you know, all the good things.
There's honestly just so much to look at as you go through because everything's different. Everybody's working on different projects. There's little second floors, you know, in different areas where they're building parts and then they bring them down and add them into the floor that you're on. It's pretty impressive to be there in person. So this is the next building we went to, and they kind of skip you ahead in this process. So these coaches just came from the, what do they call it, the Rain Bay.
The Rain Bay. This was my favorite part. So this is where they water test all of the coaches. They don't do every other one or every couple. Every single coach goes through the Rain Bay, and they drop 5 inches of rain per hour onto these coaches to make sure they're not leaking.
Yeah, so after we see the coaches coming out of the Rain Bay, we kind of take a step back, and you're seeing them build the sides. Here they're moving another one, you know, just pushing it across the floor, which again I think is just crazy. So with the sides, they put it on as one whole piece of fiberglass. So they kind of just glue it in, and then cut it all out, which is awesome.
I just think it's amazing how they all work in unison. So everyone seems like they're doing something different and then somehow come back together to be working together on what they were working on separately.
Yeah, like everybody just has what they're doing. This was kind of my area. I like seeing the guys do the electrical work. One of my favorite things that Newmar is doing recently is their like panels with all the electrical going to one single panel on those on some DIN rails is what they're called. So I like seeing them actually wire it all in, which is pretty cool.
Nerd.
Yeah. Nerd alert! There's one of the panels right there that is getting wired.
It is impressive. I mean, it's like satisfying to see all of the wires come to one point. And didn't they say that actually saves weight?
Yeah, so it was something like I want to say an average of 300 pounds was cut out of coach on average because of them going over and changing their wiring and how it goes. And it's also just easier for work because everything runs to one spot. It's really neat seeing them all lit up like this without the slides in. It's just kind of cool.
I think it reminds me of a dollhouse.
Yeah.
I feel like you're looking into a dollhouse and all these little spaces.
Yep, they're just building giant doll houses that we can drive down the road.
Look at those muscles. This was the part where the guy started pushing it, and the
And
one
then
guy
just walked
helped,
away.
and he's like,
Gotta stop it. So we weren't sure how well they stopped, but apparently they can get them stopped pretty quick.
Look at all that insulation. That's what that is, right?
Yeah, so they insulate all the walls with a baffled insulation, and then this guy is actually putting an adhesive on all of the seams so that it'll adhere to the fiberglass exterior panel. They've moved away from any carpet recently, so this is that new, I don't even know what it's called, that matte material that they're putting in.
It's nicer than carpet.
Yeah.
See, you can't tell me that doesn't look like a dollhouse.
It does. It looks like a dollhouse.
This guy was awesome. We've sat and watched him work for a little while, and he was doing the trim pieces on the slide, and he was holding it up making sure that it was cut perfectly. And if he didn't like any part of it, he went back and he modified it every time.
Yeah, so it was just a hair off. I don't know if the miter wasn't quite on, and they went back and recut a new piece and fit perfect. Which is another thing. So as they do all of the carpentry, it's all cut to fit. You know, one of the things that they had mentioned is if you mass produce this stuff, if it's off by an 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch, that's going to multiply as they put it together. So everything is cut and fit so that it fits perfectly.
Look how naked the coaches look. It's so weird to see them without paint.
Yeah, and it's funny to see as you go through, like, how they're, like, all of a sudden now it's like, it looks like a coach just not painted. You know, you go from one day and then the next, and it's just cool to see them all kind of come together from the frame that we saw earlier to, you know, a little less of a dollhouse now that it's got the slide in.
Well, and I think what was impressive was our guide. She was so knowledgeable that she could identify them before they've had really anything done to them. She saw the chassis and was like, "Oh, I know exactly what this model's
she's like,
gonna be."
that's a Ventana, and that's a Dutch Star,
yeah,
that's
she
a
just
King
knew.
Air.
Like,
And you're like,
cool.
it's just a frame. So that was pretty cool to see. These are all getting prepped before they go to paint. So they're kind of, I think what she was saying, that they do a final punch list, right, in this area.
I think so.
So anything that might have needed to get touched up, that's what they're doing there.
And welcome to the paint shop. This was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, this was probably one of my favorites also.
They're hand taping all of the designs that go on the coach because Newmar does not use vinyls. It is full body paint.
Yeah, so watching them, you know, hand tape the designs on every one of these is pretty cool. One thing we found out also is that, so the designs are specific to the models, but the paint colors can be swapped. So if you like a paint color that's offered in a different model, you can have your coach painted that color, but it needs to have the same design.
Right. So a King Air design can only be on a King Air, but the King Air paint can go on any of them.
Yeah.
Unless you choose to do their new offering, which is the artisan paint, where your paint job is a 1 of 1, and that'll be listed on your coach, and no one else can have that design, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, so once you pick that design, they're like, nope, it's not in the book anymore.
Yep, it's retired. They take it out. No one else can do it.
Yeah. So we were lucky enough that they were actually painting up this King Air, which is just really cool. You know, seeing the base black that they have, and then the designs that they're
taping off. Yeah.
It was really cool to see. Honestly, I kind of like the black and yellow. I don't know if that's the Pittsburgh coming out.
That's the Pittsburgh in you.
But
literally everything gets taped.
Yeah, it was really cool to see this process, you know, and not just on any coach, but on a new King Air is pretty amazing. I liked how they, you know, taped across the windows too, so that the design flows, you know, even though the window's not getting painted, it keeps that exact same line from front to back. Just neat to watch them do all that work.
And we're thankful for that because we've noticed on our coach, because of that process, we know when a slide might be a little out of alignment because the design's a little off.
Yeah,
So
if the paint lines don't match up, there's a problem.
serves dual purpose. It looks pretty and serves a little bit of functionality.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like, well, it looks like a robot from a popular movie that's also yellow and black. Bumblebee.
Oh,
I was trying not to say it. I was being funny.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh my gosh.
So here's a lot of the designs and the paint colors. So they have these little templates you can take a look at.
They put them on little mini motorhomes. I love it.
Little mini motorhomes. We really like some of the blues that they have. I just think that's kind of a cool color.
So many options.
And then we got to see, I think this was...
These are the finished ones. So
some
these
finished
ones
products,
either
yeah.
already have homes or they're going to dealers.
And we never miss an opportunity to go in a new coach.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, it really doesn't
go in
matter.
it.
We love to see what's inside and see how they're laid out. I mean, we've been in pretty much every option out there, but we still love going in them.
And this is that blue color that you really
Yeah,
love.
I really liked this. I don't know, it just had a kind of a more modern look to it. I just think that blue is a fun color.
The way the light reflects on it is really great.
Yeah. And obviously we love the Super Cs, so we're gonna check that one out.
Even though they're finished, they still have people in here going over everything with a fine-tooth comb before they actually let it leave the facility.
Yeah, I think that was one of their checklists on the table there. We just happened to kind of come in as they were touching things up and cleaning things. So that was our experience going through the Newmar tour, the factory tour.
I think it was really cool. I don't think that's something I would have ever thought that I would have enjoyed. But after seeing it all and seeing how giant the process is, like, you know that your motorhome's huge and that a lot of work went into it, but you don't realize how much work goes into it and how many people have to touch every part of this motorhome to make it what it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane.
Yep. And hopefully you didn't mind our voiceover and talking through it. It was loud in a lot of those areas, so we weren't able to kind of talk through it as we were doing it.
Well, and we also didn't want to talk over our guide because she was so knowledgeable that, like, we were trying to take in all the information as well as capture what we were seeing.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for following along with this and our experience at Newmar.
Yeah, and if you get the opportunity to do a factory tour, obviously we're a little biased and we think you should do it at Newmar. But if you have the option to do it somewhere, I definitely would take it up and do it because it was really neat to see.
Yeah. Also, though, Newmar does theirs every day, and we did find that not all the factories do that. We tried to get in to do a couple other factory tours, and I don't know if they didn't have enough people or what, but we weren't able to do that while we were there.
Or they didn't call us back.
Or they didn't call us back and when we signed up for it, that type of thing. So we're very partial to Newmar, but also getting on their tour was a lot easier than some of the other brands that we tried to.
Absolutely. So we hope you enjoyed the tour, and we hope you get to check one out soon.